guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sophie. This is Jackpot Comic Talks, and it is officially a new year, and that means there is a lot to discuss. So let's get into it. Like I said, there is a lot to discuss. I have sectioned this video into 3 different parts, and it is all about my goals for 2024. I've got section 1, which is going to be about comic collecting goals. Section 2 is going to be about channel goals. And then 3 are just two goals that I have that I just thought were worth mentioning, but did not fit into the other categories that I had. I have my notes right here so I don't forget anything. And it's a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, my first category here is comic collecting goals. So this year was my last year was my first full year of collecting comics, and I got a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff, because in my mind when I was buying comics, and let me tell you before I begin, I am so happy with all of the comics I have. I love them, I'm so glad I have them, and I don't regret buying most of them. There's a few here and there I'm like, I don't remember why I bought this, but I did. But other than that, I love my collection and I love having this collection. But in my head, a lot of the times I was thinking, you know, sure, I could get this one book that I really want for $50. Or I could get these 20 comics for $50 and I get more comics out of it. So that's a better use of my money. And I was mildly excited about all of these books. And I think I need to work on that going into this year. I would much rather save up for some of the bigger books that I have rather than getting a lot of books for that same price, because it just doesn't bring me the same amount of joy. You know, I look at my collections down over here next to me, and I look at all of these books and I'm like, those are great and I love those, but nothing makes me happier than showing off the books that I have over on this wall, which you guys have seen before. It's where I have a lot of my Amazing Spider-Man keys, like ASM 25, 42, 59, Secret Wars 8, Amazing Spider-Man 252, my CGC comics, this Roy Thomas signed Marvel Saga 22, all of these books I absolutely love showing off, but you don't see me showing off a lot of the books that I picked up for a couple of bucks because they're just not that as exciting to me. So I want to kind of remedy and work on that this year. So I have a very set list of books that I want to look for. I'm sure I'll go on a few side quests and get some other comics I'll add to this list. I might take off some of the stuff on this list, switch things around. I'm going to be very flexible with it, but the idea of getting books I really want instead of books I kind of want is still going to be at the core of this list. So to start it off, we have the Amazing Spider-Man books that I went over in this video. I will link it up here. It was all about my Amazing Spider-Man goals for the year. There was 4 categories, I believe, going from books I need, books I want, books I'll dream about, and books that are nearly impossible to get, but why not put them on the list anyway? So you can check out that video. I'm not going to go over them right now because I already have, but those specifically from the Amazing Spider-Man run, I'm going to be looking for. And then to go along with that, I want to start focusing on all Amazing Spider-Man under 100. They are more expensive there, especially the keys. But this is a run that I really want to focus on. It is my favorite superhero, Spider-Man, and it is so much of my childhood and even now my adulthood, and it's like at the very core of who I am. I'm just always been a huge superhero nerd and a geek, but my love has almost always been centered around Spider-Man. So to have most or all of that run one day would truly mean the world to me. So I want to focus on that. And this year's goal is to start getting some of those issues that are lower than 100. Again, that's where the most, well, not the most, but most of the expensive books lie. And especially once you get beneath I'll say 20, it's crazy expensive. So I doubt I'm gonna get all 100 of them this year. In fact, I know I won't. But I want to just solely focus on that. And then at some point I need to decide where up in that run I want to collect to, and figure out different story arcs I want to complete and stuff like that. But that's a different video, a different thing to talk about at a later date. So those are my Amazing Spider-Man goals. And then I've got a few other ones. I want to complete my Miss Marvel series. I just did a video showing you guys the 3 Miss Marvel comics that I got that were Mystique's first cameo appearances and her first full appearance that wasn't in disguise. And I have most of the rest of that run except for 2, and those 2 I don't remember which ones they are just off the top of my head, but they're the only 2 I have left. But I figured I might as well make it a goal because it never hurts to be able to cross something off your list. It's a great feeling. So yes, I do want to complete that Miss Marvel series, and I am very, very close to it. I also really want to get some of the Captain Britain comics that were only published in the UK. They are quite hard to get because they were not published in the US. I don't know how exactly I'm going to go about getting them because I could just get on eBay and look for them, but I might try to see if there's a way I can get them from the UK. Perhaps that'll be a cheaper way to go about things. I don't know. I have not looked into it at all. I do have my Marvel Team Up 65 of Spider-Man and Captain Britain, which is Captain Britain's first US publication, or first US appearance. I mean, I guess the way I phrased it was okay, but I didn't like it. So first US appearance, and I don't know. I've not read any of this character, but I just really want to collect it. So I'm going to see what the best way to go about getting those is, and I want to get some of the UK published Captain Britain books. Next up, I love horror comics. I am a huge horror film fan and scary novel fan and all that kind of good stuff. And there are a few specific books. I don't have them all written down, but there are specific few horror books that I want to get. However, most of what I love are I just jumped right ahead in that sentence, are comics where there is either a skull or skeleton on the cover. I love skulls and skeletons. I just think they're very cool, and I love covers that have them on there, especially when they're depicted in an anthropomorphic way and they are, alive and moving and look like they're chasing after someone or whatever. So I do want to get some more of those. I think I'm going to focus more on those. And then there's a few other, I'll probably do a video of that, showing off some of the ones I have and which ones I want to get eventually. I don't know when. And then the next goal, before I get into some of the random comics I just wanted to shout out, I guess, is they did a comic book series based off of the 2003 cartoon Teen Titans. Now, this series was called Teen Titans Go. Yes, it did come before the animated newer series Teen Titans Go that was based off of the original Teen Titans Go. How many times have I said Teen Titans in this video now? But that series, I loved watching it as a kid. I still watch it to this day. It's one of my favorite shows, definitely my favorite cartoon. And I just really want to collect that run. I don't remember how many issues it is. I do have number 1 though. I was very excited to get that. It's in perfect near mint condition. I might have to get it CGC'd so that I can display it, but we'll see. But that series, they're decently affordable. Some of them are more higher priced just because they're harder to find. There is, I think the most expensive one is the one that introduces Red X because it is his first comic appearance. So that one's a little harder to get, but Red X is one of my favorite characters and my favorite character from that show. That's not one of the main Titans. Anyway, this is not a video about my love for that show, although that might be kind of fun. I might have to do that. But anyway, I do want to start collecting that series because it's so nostalgic for me, and I just think it would be such a fun thing to collect. Now on to the random comics that I want. I will be putting pictures of them over here. But just a few ones that I know I want and have yet to buy, but want to buy this year. So first off, we have Detective Comics 620. I do have the Night Terrors homage to this cover, but I have just, it's Batman as a skeleton. And who wouldn't love that? I mean, I really do. I definitely want to get this cover. I think it's awesome. Next up is Spider-Boy. As I'm filming, I don't remember what year it came out, but it was one of the DC and Marvel crossovers. It is decently affordable. You can get one from like 10 to 20 bucks at most. And I just love Superboy, especially when he's got like that punk look with the leather jacket and the spikes and the fingerless gloves and stuff like that. And then the Spider-Man that it is kind of crossed with is Ben Reilly's Spider-Man, which is not my favorite Spider-Man, but I digress. I still think it's really cool. It's a combination of one of my favorite characters and kind of one of my favorite characters, but not really. Anyway, I still want the comic. So that is going to be on that list. Batman 638, but the second printing. I do have the first printing, which is the cover of Batman holding Jason's Red Hood helmet. You can see the reflection of Jason in it. It's a very awesome cover, but that one sold out, and they actually did a second printing and they did a different cover for it, and it was Jason instead, also holding his his helmet, and you can see Batman's reflection looking shocked in it this time. And I think it is so freaking cool, but I haven't gotten my hands on a copy of the Jason version, the second printing of that, though I do have the Batman one. But I need to get it. I've been wanting it for forever. It's got to be on this list. This is the year I get it. Then we have Spider-Woman #1. I love the cover. I just really want this book. And then there is a Art Germ Mary Jane cover that I've really been wanting. I do have the trade dress version of the half Black Cat, half Mary Jane, but I don't have the full Mary Jane. So that is on this list. And then the biggest one that is on the random comics, I don't know if I'll get that this year. It's a pretty big comic, but it is Ultimate Fallout #4, the first appearance of Miles Morales as Spider-Man. It is just a book that I really, really want. Miles Morales is one of my favorite characters. I remember the first series I read with him, fell in love with the character, thought it was so cool to see a new take on Spider-Man that still had all of the elements I loved, but then you had his added powers that I thought were really cool, and it was just a bit of a different story and a different way to tell it, and I thought it was just amazing. I loved it. I just remember how excited I was when I started reading that series. But I would love to have Ultimate Fallout 4. This is one of those that might end up getting taken off this list if it, skyrockets in price again, or if I just can't find the right copy. But we'll see. I figured I'd put it on there. And worst case scenario, I just dream about owning it for a while. So with that all being said, those are my comic collecting goals that I've set for myself. Again, I'm going to be very flexible with those, but I thought it was, good to start somewhere. So the next category that I've kind of set up is channel goals. Just a few things that I want to change up or try to do better at. I do want to do a Q&A video, so if you guys have any questions for me, that you're wanting to know, it can be about my collection, it could be about my comics, my, plans, it could be about me if there's anything you're curious about. I've got a few I asked on Instagram the other day and over on the community tab of this channel. You can also comment them down below, and I will put together a Q&A video and just see if you guys had any questions for me that I can answer. I want to do more live streams. I have been slightly nervous to do them just because it's very on the spot and I'm like, what if I mess up? What if I make a fool of myself? You never know. But I would like to do a few more. I'm not going to set like I'm going to do one once a month or I'm going to do one once a week. Like none of that, just maybe 3 this year, and that would be a good starting point. Maybe I'll do one for, a holiday or something. We'll see. It's just more of a slight goal that I have. I want to be able to send out more AOKs to some people who are also comic YouTubers. I have received 2 and they meant the world to me. I truly just was very grateful to receive those, and I do want to be sending some out. I just have to find the right comics before I can send them out to everybody. My subscriber goal, I wanted to keep it kind of low because I am a very realistic person. I don't like thinking of course I say that after I'm like, I want Ultimate Fallout 4. I like to think very realistically, so I don't want to set myself up for disappointment. So I don't want to set a goal that's like 10,000 subscribers or 2,000 or even 1,000. I would love to hit 500 subscribers in 2024. That's my goal. If I hit that, great. If I surpass it, even better, and I'll be super psyched, and I can film a video next year at the end of this year and be like, I doubled my goal or whatever. But 500 is what I'm really hoping to hit this year. I want to do more story videos, more showing off the collection that I already have. I want to stop buying as many comics, which will also help with that because I won't be constantly like, oh, hey, I got these in the mail today. Let me just film what I got, So less haul videos and more deep dives into comics. I still need to do that darn Umbrella Academy video. I promise it will get done. I just have to sit down and film it. But more videos like that. I still need to show you guys all of my Mary Jane collection, and I've added so much to that since I started this channel, which was only 3 months ago, which is crazy because it feels like a much shorter amount of time, but a very long amount of time too. But just more showing off what I already have and telling you guys about my favorite artists and writers and characters and such. And then I also want to try some more shorts, because I can also post them on Instagram and stuff, and, just do some fun, little extra videos for you guys. Now those are my channel goals, and now we have some other goals that are worth mentioning, but not the focal point of this video. But the first one is I want to completely change up my background over here. I'm kind of in the process of redoing part of my room, just changing up some of the furniture in here. So I can't quite work on this how I want to yet, but I do want to redo it so I can show off more comics in the background and be able to film in a little bit different way. So stay tuned for that. I know I have done some very random and weird video angles lately, but once I get this background done, they will be more consistent and it'll hopefully look a lot better. And then the next thing that I wanted to talk about is, as you guys know, if you've watched some of my other videos, I do cosplay. I have cosplayed Mary Jane before. I've cosplayed Raven from the Teen Titans. I've cosplayed Red X before. I have done just a couple of different cosplays, and I love making them, and I love wearing them and going to conventions and stuff. Now, one of my cosplay goals for this year is to do Spinneret. I really want to do, Mary Jane's Spider-Man character. I think it would be very fun. I don't know if I'll be able to actually make that outfit because it would be kind of complicated. While I do a lot of sewing, I haven't done anything quite like a skin-tight Spider-Man suit like that. So I don't know if I'm going to attempt that this year. However, I want to do a cosplay of Mary Jane from each of her, like, eras, we'll say, or just different versions of her. I've already done the first appearance, I've already done the modern one, but I want to also do Spinneret, and at some point I want to do Jackpot. So I would love to film that process. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in watching. I doubt it will be my regular video for the week. It'll probably be an extra video that I just upload sometime in the middle of the week as I film this stuff and kind of get it done. You came to visit! He never visits! Hi! So those are some of my, he distracted me. Those are some goals. Just let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that. Is it something I should film and show you guys? But if I decide to make any other cosplays this year, I would love to showcase them on the channel. I just think it would be kind of fun and might be interesting for you guys to see. So that's another thing that I thought I would mention. But with all of that being said, I think that's the end of this video. So be on the lookout for all of that in this year. I hope you guys have had a wonderful new year. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Go on over to Instagram and follow me at jackpotcomictalks, exact same as my YouTube channel name. As always, I hope you guys hit the jackpot with the next comics you get, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, you ruined it! I was gonna have you wave! Bye!